What's up, y'all? It's your girl CP, and welcome to a tasty Thursday. Today's video, we're going to be making all of my favorite Filipino breakfasts, from Danggit, Tuyo, Longanisa, chicken Tocino, and Tortang Talong. These breakfast items I'm about to cook are very popular in the Philippines, usually eaten alongside of egg, and so they would usually call that dish like a silog. And so like if you're having Tocino, that would be tosilog, Longanisa, long silog. If you ever have like Filipino food or Filipino breakfast and you see silog, it just means it's with egg, and it usually also means that it's gonna come with garlic fried rice. And that is also something else we're gonna be making today. So you might be wondering, where am I? I'm actually out on my balcony right now. So I live in an apartment complex and we have this little balcony here. And I'm gonna be frying the tuyo and the danggit outside. So if any of you know, frying fish in your house will tend to keep the smell there for about 24 to 48 hours. And I'd rather not do that. So I'm going to try to cook it outside, and hopefully none of my neighbors' windows are open. They don't look like they are. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm super stoked for this, y'all, and I hope you try out any of these ways of cooking these Filipino food and make a beautiful, beautiful silog charcuterie board, y'all. My office manager's out there. First, you're going to start with preheating your pan with enough oil in your pan to be able to pan fry. Once your oil is hot enough for cooking, place your tuyo in the pan and try to avoid overcrowding. After about 30 to 45 seconds, flip over your tuyo. Be very careful, this could be very sensitive. Once you start to see the fish flaking, remove from the pan. You gotta go pretty fast because the tuyo will cook pretty quickly and you don't want your tuyo to burn and fall apart in the pan. Next, I'm going to cook the danggit, and I'm going to be cooking it in the same oil and pan that I used to cook the tuyo. You're going to want to just have enough oil in a pan to be able to pan fry at a medium heat. While you're cooking, you may notice that the fish will start to bubble up. Don't worry, that's completely normal and completely fine. Don't worry. A good tip here is to have all of your fish facing the same direction, so that's going to be easier on you to be able to keep track when you're flipping the danggit in 30-second intervals, and it only takes about 2 minutes to cook total. Next, we're going to move on to chicken Tocino. First, you're going to put a teaspoon of oil in the bottom of your pan to be able to pan fry at medium heat. Empty out your packaging, and you're going to cook about 2 to 3 minutes and then flip and repeat about 4 times. Your tocino will start to caramelize and glisten after about 15 minutes of cooking. This is a good sign your tocino is done. Next, I'm going to move on to my pork longanisa. I'm going to be using the same pan that I used when cooking tocino, so there's already some oil in here, and it's going to cook on medium heat. I'm going to put the longanisa in the pan, and then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of water, cover with a lid, and simmer for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to flip the longanisa over and simmer for an additional 5 minutes. After that, I'm going to take my kitchen scissors to separate the longanisa as they're still attached to each other. Sometimes liquid will form in between, so be very careful, it will spray. Like that. A tip here is to use the lid to block the spray, and clearly I did not do that. Simmer for another 5 minutes, and most of the liquid should have already evaporated. From this, your longanisa should start to fry with the oil that started in the pan. Then your longanisa will start to caramelize. Continue to fry to have that caramelization all over the longanisa. Be careful not to burn. Next, we're going to make the tortang talong. Take your eggplant and place it into your air fryer. Set at 370 degrees for 7 minutes. Then, when that's complete, you're going to flip your eggplant around and repeat at 370 for 7 minutes. Once your eggplant has finished in the air fryer, begin peeling off the skin. This should come off super easy, and this is a really great trick if you're making eggplant. Next, crack an egg in a bowl. Then you're going to add salt and pepper for taste. Mix up your eggs. Then you're going to take your eggplant and dip into your egg mixture. Then you're going to begin smashing your eggplant right into the egg. Try your best to not tear apart the eggplant so that it can remain intact as one whole. Then you're going to flip your eggplant around to get all of your sides smashed and evenly spread within the egg. Then in a medium heat pan with some oil, you're going to take your eggplant and add it to the heated pan. Use a spatula to flatten the eggplant to make a circular shape. Once this is done, take the rest of the egg mixture and pour it onto the eggplant to fill in any holes. After about 2 minutes, or cooking the other side of the egg, you're going to flip it over and cook for an additional 2 minutes. Then your Tortang Talong will be complete. Next, we're going to move on to the garlic fried rice. In a pan, heat up half a tablespoon of oil and add your garlic. Honestly, Filipino people hella love their garlic, so fill up as much garlic to your heart's desire. And then after that, we're going to add 2 cups of cooked rice to the mix. And then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. I'm telling y'all, we hella love our garlic. And garlic salt to taste. If you don't have garlic salt, you can just use regular salt. Then you're going to fry up your garlic fried rice for about 2 to 3 minutes. And when this is done, you're just going to turn off the heat, leave it in the pan until you're ready to serve. For the final dish that we're going to be cooking, we're going to make 3 sunny side up eggs. The spread I've made today feeds 3 to 4 adults. So if you have 4 adults, go ahead and just cook a 4th egg. And you want to get these eggs nice and crispy on the sides and try not to break the yolk. For one of our sides, we're going to make tomatoes. So this one is just going to be 1 tomato chopped up, plain and simple. Keep it easy, keep it fresh. And for this particular tomato, we're going to add a salted egg. Salted egg is something that you can purchase at the Asian stores. They come in this pink reddish shell, and it'll say that it's salted. It has been cooked and brined in some salt, which gives it that salty flavor. And this is very, very popular to have with tomatoes. So I'm just gonna crush that and mix it in with the tomatoes, and it gives it a really nice salty flavor. Now we're gonna make our vinegar dipping sauces. I'm gonna use Datu Petit because that's the vinegar I have at home. Both of them are going to have minced garlic, surprise, surprise. One of them will have 3 Thai chilies to be a lot more spicier, and 1 for more tame will just be pepper. In both of these mixes, I'm gonna add half a tablespoon of sugar. Now it's time to start building your silog board. Of course, feel free to decorate your board and present it however you would like, but first I started with placing my rice, then I added my tomatoes, moved on to placing my proteins, then I added my eggs to give that really nice pop of color, my fried fish to fill in some holes that I may have missed with the meat. Then I'm going to add some sauces, so I'm going to add some jus fran, you can use regular ketchup if you'd like, and add some last minute touches, and voila! In the Philippines, a really common way to share meals amongst your family and like in your neighborhood is this way of eating called kamayan. And that literally means like hand. And it's when you eat with your hands. So usually in the Philippines, it's also called a boodle fight. I didn't actually know that. I always thought it was called kamayan until recently. And they basically lay out a bamboo leaf or a banana leaf on the table. It's like spread to this like whole table. And then they like put all of like, maybe sometimes it's like a big old lechon in the middle, and then they'll surround it with rice and all these other sort of foods. And so this is sort of just the single serve kamayan or boodle fight. And I would like to call it the silog charcuterie, just to sort of give it that Western FilAM touch, you know. Surprise your family today by creating your own type of boodle fight or your kamayan dish and your silog charcuterie by just placing it on a nice little wooden board here. Or you could even get banana leaves in the supermarket. And so that's super cheap. It's probably like $2 and it comes frozen. So you just wipe that down, place it on your table, and this is a great way to share a meal and sit down with your family and have a really nice dinner together, or even lunch or breakfast for this case. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.